The fire just was everywhere, from our room and just a spread up there. But the ill gentleman was still up there in the house sleeping. I got up early this morning. I was on the inside. I was there playing the Candy Crush game on my phone till I heard the young lady that lived upstairs on the building, on the next side of the building, was calling. She was calling her family that lived up there because she did not sleep there, or the gentleman that lived there with her. They did not sleep up there. But because of the man mentally disturbed a little, he was still up there in his sleep. So she called because it's her family, and he came and he pulled the gate at the bottom and she went up. I was still listening while she went up. Whatever she was doing, I don't know. But she came back down. After coming back down, about 5 minutes, I went out to sit on the veranda there. Heard fire like popping, like when you catch fire and it'll catch up. It'll catch your ear, the fire pop like. Wasn't really paying much because the next door neighbor, living on the same building as well, he was out in his yard sweeping and singing, so I thought it was he that put some garbage together and was catching the fire. So I did not pay it mind. Then I heard people on the outside shouting the same young lady that went upstairs where she lived and saying that, "Your house upon fire, your house upon fire." She didn't turn back, she didn't look, she didn't come down. The people that must still saying your house is on fire, your house is on fire, till another set of people that is hearing what they're saying started to say to her, "You don't hear the people that tell you say your house upon fire, your house upon fire." Anyway, she went up the road. I was still here. Come off the veranda now because I saw the fire flake came down. So I came off the veranda now. When I came off the veranda, there was the heat. And then I really spin around to look up, and when I look, the whole on that side, the fire just was everywhere, from our room and just a spread up there. But the ill gentleman was still up there in the house sleeping, not knowing, but the heat eventually wake him from his sleep. So he came running down, and the fire was there like just a plover come back behind him.
The building that caught fire is actually the home, the old government yard building in which Bob Marley and his mother and Bunny Wailer and Bunny's father lived together, and that's where they grew up, and that's really where the Wailers emerged from that building. And we have plans, we've been planning from before Bunny died. Bunny and I had been working on this project along with Chris Wimstone, who is an architect who has done a lot of work in Trenchtown and was one of the driving forces behind the revival of Trenchtown Culture Yard. The three of us have been working, bringing in the KSAMC, bringing in the Food for the Poor to try and relocate the residents living in that building to a property across the street, which we've identified, which the KSAC own. All that land, or most of that land, is owned by the KSAC. And and Food for the Poor have agreed to build some houses to relocate the residents. Unfortunately, there was a fire in the building. The roof, the upper section was damaged, but the building was already in a very dilapidated state and will have to be substantially renovated anyway. So I'm hoping that the project will continue, and we need to try and expedite it because we've been working on it for over 2 years now, and just getting all the wheels to turn at the same time in the same direction hasn't been easy. But with what happened today, there's an additional impetus to try and get it done.
Boy, my needs is a lot of things, but right now I need a roof over my head back. That's my most important part. A roof over my head back, that's it. Because right now I'm thinking about using a piece of 2x4 and try to catch back the ceiling and try to get back these stuff inside.
There were 3 families living in the building, so they have all been displaced currently. And their families, I would say probably a region of 10 people overall, maybe a little more. I haven't got the full listing of names and numbers. My team is doing that today, and by Monday I should have that information. And my intention is, of course, to try to mobilize some support for the families, which is a standard procedure when we have these fires. And we have a lot of fires, unfortunately, because of the old housing stock and the crowded conditions and the fact that some of the electrical connections are not always formalized. So, this is a part of the problem of the lack of investment in our inner cities, and especially in housing. We really need to have a major program to improve the infrastructure. We have sewage issues. major sewage issues. The sewage system is old and was built at a time when the numbers of people living in the community were much less. So with the dense populations now and some of the living habits of people where the sewers are, people throw rubbish in the sewers and so on. They often are overflowing into the street, and so there's a lot. Jamaica needs to really invest in the inner cities, in the housing and infrastructure, to improve the social amenities and give people the dignity they deserve to live a life of peace, and where they can achieve their aspirations, even when no matter how poor or difficult their starting circumstances may be in life.